Hello, people. Thanks for joining me. We're in a build-up toward Christmas. It's Christmas Day tomorrow. The big celebrations will all begin, and the kids will all be having the opening of their presents, and there'll be a lot of goodwill and joy being shed abroad in our country. There will, however, be those who won't have the same measure of what some will have, but that's okay in light of all that Christmas really means. We're grateful to God for His sacrifice on our behalf. But I want to suggest to you today that some people need to understand that maybe we need to realize that Christmas was no accident. The cross was no accident. You know, if you were a preacher, if you are a preacher, you're always looking for good illustrations and good stories that you can tell that can move people to make decent decisions in their lives. I can remember as a kid clearly hearing the story of the engineer who designed a bridge. And it was a drawbridge, and it opened like this, and it closed like this, and there was huge machinery and mechanism underneath. And it was so that a train could drive over this magnificent bridge. And what happened was this: the drawbridge was up one day, and the engineer was looking down, and he saw the train coming, and then all of a sudden he saw something that made his heart run and his heart panic. He saw that the drawbridge was closing, and the area upon which it was closing stood a little person. That little person was his child, was his son. And he had to face the quick choice to say, should I stop the drawbridge from going down? I have the power to do that. I can press the switch, I can pull the lever that will stop the drawbridge crushing my child. Or if I feel more prone to looking after the people on the train, I could just lower it and I'll lose my child. And people have used that as a parallel of the Christian faith. They've used that as a parallel of God seeing Jesus and the drawbridge coming down and then the Jesus being crushed by the weight of sin. Now, that's got some interesting parallels, I guess. The problem is it's not very accurate in the main. The source of that beautiful story is the wonder of the love of God for us. The source of the story is not the child coming down underneath the bridge. The choice of the story is not the father having the power to do something about it. The choice of the story is this was God's plan. That's the big deal about the story of Christmas and the cross. It wasn't some accident that Jesus happened to be standing there and then the weight of sin came and crushed him. This was the plan of God from the beginning of time. This was the plan of God from the beginning, from eternity past. And I'd like to just read that part to you. It says this: Men of Israel, listen to this. Jesus of Nazareth was a man accredited by God to you by miracles, wonders, and signs which God did among you through him, as you yourselves know. This man was handed over to you by God's set purpose and foreknowledge. And you, with the help of wicked men, put him to death by nailing him to the cross. This is the purpose and the foreknowledge of God coming to reality. It was no accident. It wasn't just by chance that Jesus had to be born and then had to die. This was God's plan. Such, people, is the magnitude and the immensity of the story of Christmas and the cross. You can't really talk about Christmas without inferring or talking about the cross as well, because this is the reason that he came. It's glorious, brings joy, brings hope to the world, but at the same time, behind it is the shadow of the cross, and that is the seriousness of the plan of God. This was God's plan. This was all God's plan in the first place. He planned it from eternity past. Jesus was part of the plan, knowing full well that he would one day be born as a baby in a manger and die upon a cruel cross. That blows my mind. Surely there must be another way to do it, God. Surely you could do anything. You could deal with this sin problem a different way. But he would have shaken his head and said, nope, I need a perfect human being. None of you is perfect enough, so Jesus will come. And as we celebrate Christmas tomorrow, won't you take these sobering thoughts, mix them with the joy of everything that Christmas has for you? Won't you sit and talk to your kids about this? Talk about presents in the light of the present that God has sent to us and given to us in the form of Jesus Christ, the Lamb of God, to be sacrificed on our behalf. These are deep truths. Think about them. Talk about them. Share them with your kids and your friends. Have a great day tomorrow. We'll see you all in church, I hope. But have a great Christmas, you all. Bye-bye.